Now let's travel to more of those valleys west of the Blue Mountains. We're exploring the Capertee Valley on the western side of the Blue Mountains. Now this is the world's second largest canyon. In fact, it's 1 kilometre longer than the Grand Canyon, with massive sandstone formations rising abruptly from the valley floor. An hour's drive east of Capertee is a waterway known as Dun Swamp, a place of high cliffs, tranquil waters and abundant birdlife. We're exploring these waters by boat with National Parks Ranger Chris Pavich. So Chris, Dun Swamp, also known as Gangutty, the Aboriginal name?
That's correct, yes. Gangutty, the name of one of the creeks flowing in, the name of the parish. They wanted to drought-proof the cement works about 1930. They built the dam there to make sure they never had to shut down that plant, and they gave us this wonderful resource. Now, what's so good about it is they use so little water. The water levels are pretty stable. You know, between high tide and low tide, you're only looking at a couple of 100 mils. And that means that the vegetation around the edges has established to be a natural foreshore vegetation.
The sandstone walls that line Dun Swamp have weathered into interesting shapes. This stone here is so smooth and straight, it looks like it's been hewn by man.
You can see in some parts you've got this hard skin where it's been hardened up, case hardened like an eggshell. Because the water has dissolved away some of the silica and iron in the rock here and deposited on the outside skin. When that outside skin is broken, then allows a lot of collapse and weathering behind and giving you these caves behind.
Motoring along Dun Swamp, we begin to encounter its wildlife. First, there are the water dragons, equipped with long, powerful limbs and claws for climbing, and a long, muscular tail for swimming. Then there's the bird life. Chris, lots of good bird life here too. What's this, a swamp hen?
Yes, purple swamp hen, Kiwis known as pakekos, and they are a pretty fearless bird. They'll come right up to the camp. Whenever people move out of their camps there, the first bird in is the swamp hen to find out what little goodies have been left behind.
One treat is spotting this duck. It's rare, Chris tells me, a musk duck that has not been seen on any other waterway in this region. We get surprisingly close to this duck as it, well, ducks under the water to emerge with some seagrass it proceeds to devour. Certainly the lure of catching fish has attracted this angler, and the sheer beauty of Dun Swamp has drawn kayakers. What they're discovering is a tranquil haven in the Wallamai National Park, which in turn contains the state's largest wilderness area. Just north of Capertee flows the delightful Turon River. A gold nugget 48 kilograms in weight was once found here, sparking a big rush of prospectors. You can still find traces of gold here, but you're more likely to find trout. These are pristine conditions for catching trout and carp. We're on a property known as Turon Gates, where trout fishermen find solace in this long valley. Such a distance is best explored by horse. I'm riding out of Turon Gates along the Turon River with Anna Luno and her friend Astra Jeffs. How special is this, Anna? This Turon River, this is just sensational down here.
I know, believe it or not, you can drink out of it. These valleys are absolutely beautiful. You've got the rocks on the surface of the river, and you've also got the contrast with the beautiful trees, and it's pretty magical down here.
Now you're taking us up the Turon River, not across it, up it.
Up it.
Absolutely, why is that?
Scaring all the fish away. Because it's really nice to get the experience of walking through the river, and the horses love it, and it's a great way to see the property is on horseback, the best way.
Let's go. Throughout our ride, we spot mobs of eastern grey kangaroos. They're abundant around the Turon River, most watching that we don't move in too close. Others sparring. A lot of wonderful bird life.
Great bird life. All sorts of different varieties, parakeets and cockatiels, and yeah, we get it all up here.
Tell me about these finches. We're seeing them come down out of the branches onto the ground. Looks like they're going after seeds.
They do go after seeds. They play a role. All the birds play a different role in the sort of food chain. They come down and they sort of gather the seeds from different parts and spread them. So I'm sure they've got lots of little roles going on.
And the valley itself, just back of the Blue Mountains, is rich. It's green eucalyptus trees, and I see fir trees alongside the river here.
Very dense land. They're open on the top of above the valleys, all the rolling hills with nice green hills, and then down here it's just so rich and dense, and the beautiful trout stream, and it's almost like you're in two different places from one place to the next. It's gorgeous.
Now this is interesting. What's this, back from the days of the gold rush?
Absolutely. This was a big area in the gold rush. It's very close to Sofala here, and there was up to 10,000 Chinese people living here and working the land for gold back in the mid-1800s. No one ever knew what they were finding here, because when anyone died, they'd cremate the bodies and put the gold in the bottom of the urn and send it back to China. So they never had to pay any tax on it. We never knew how much they were finding. Well, that's the story that goes around the area.
And so just imagine that atmosphere. You would have had people panning for gold, musicians, cooks.
Absolutely,
tents.
travelling people, trying to find a way of life, and riding around on horseback, trying to meet people. It would have been really interesting. Those days, of course, there wasn't the roads that you have now, so it would have been really interesting to see the kind of people that were turning up around here.
That evening, round the campfire, we find Turon Gates guest Johnny Huckle in fine voice.
Australians stood together to recognise our darkest past. No longer content to live with all that shame. So let's advance Australia, fair and black. Remember the past, but don't look back. Let's take the next step together as one. Let's advance Australia, fair and black. Fair and black. Fair and black.